back, everyone. We're on episode 7 of the Create Mod Ultimate Selection mod pack. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and create some armor, and we're probably also going to start creating a couple more contraptions, probably some diesel generators, that sort of thing, because right now I kind of left that on the back burner. So super excited to get started. First things first, we're actually going to start with some armor today. So, first things first, to make a set of armor, you're going to need to get yourself the molds for it out of gold. So we're going to make our armor out of two materials. We're going to make it out of manulin, and we're also going to make it out of this material here. And the main reason being is the kinetic ability will make it so that if we get hit, we deal more damage. And this ability will make it so that if we get hit, we also get a protection bonus. So if we get hit, we're not going to be taking much damage and we're going to be hitting harder. So this will kind of be like a Black Panther suit, which I'm kind of excited about. So I've already got all the material in here. I'm going to go ahead and make 4 of the mail, and then I'm going to make the different pieces of armor here, just like this. These are the armor platings. And then we're just going to keep going with the mail. And once we've got all those components, that's pretty much it. The armor in this is very, very simple, way less complex than the tools and everything. My guess is so that, you know, they can focus on like developing the tools and making those much nicer. My guess is at some point all of the armor will get a bonus at some point too, so. Alright, and then that's it. So we're going to go ahead and go to our part builder here. We're going to take our piece here, take our mail, and just combine them. And that's pretty much it. So that's a full set of armor. We're going to do some modifications to them because they've got 2 upgrade slots apiece. And that's about it. Okay guys, so I've got all of the modifiers that I'm going to place on my armor at this point. So for my helmet, what I'm going to do is I've got these items here. That's for respiration. This right here will make it so that piglins will not attack me. And then this here, the blaze powder, will make it so that anytime a mob hits me, there's a 15% chance for them to catch on fire, and it does stack, so that's why I've got all of those here for my chest plate as well. These here will give me a jump boost of 0.5 blocks per stack here, so this will give me an extra 1 block of jump height. This will give me 10% movement speed. The 3 sets of 40 feathers will also give me feather falling 3. So I'm going to go ahead and apply all this to my armor. You'll also see that I've got all these cobalt reinforcements and these iron reinforcements. The cobalt reinforcements will give me a protection boost against melee damage, and the iron reinforcements give me a protection boost against projectile damage. There's a difference between the protection modifiers and your regular upgrades. So at this point, I have 3 upgrades I can still do, which is where the fish, the glass, and the kelp is going to go. That'll give me respiration. Well, we'll do the fiery real quick. Okay guys, so it looks like I actually can't apply the gold to the helmet, so I'm just going to go ahead and do some blaze powder, and that will bring my fiery to 2 on this, and then on my chest plate I'll have 3, and because it stacks up to 5, that means I'll have 5 instances of 15% chances for my enemy to get caught on fire if they hit me, which kind of synergizes with the rest of this build as well, so that works out anyways. So we're going to go ahead and do that for the chest plate now. We're just going to go ahead and take the 3 sets of fiery there. We're going to take our protection, throw that on there. So it's like we've got protection 2 on all of our armor, but the melee protection stacks up to 8 across all of your armor pieces, so I am maxing out my protection. And then I am actually going to do gold for my armor trims, because I think that looks absolutely phenomenal. I just think it looks great. So we're going to continue on here. I just want to do them separately so that I don't have to worry about messing up here. Do our protection there, and our projectile protection. And we're also going to do our armor trim. There we go. And then our last one, our pants. We're gonna do haste or speed. We're gonna do jump boost and jump boost. We're gonna go ahead and do our template, and there we go. That is our full set of Manulin armor. Good to go. Look at that. So now we have our jump boost too. We have a little bit of a speed boost, only 10% bonus, but that's nothing to scoff at. I mean, it's like having speed boost 1 all the time. And anytime we take damage, our opponents are going to get caught on fire, for the most part. We've also got our feather falling. We're not going to be taking nearly as much damage. I do have a way to get some more modifiers, so I'll go ahead and do that at some point in the near future. Yep, you can get a dragon head. That will give you an extra... any discs will get you an extra upgrade slot. I've already done this one to these. Already done the heads. End crystals should be easy enough to do. We've already done the writable on all of them as well. Just wanted to show you guys the new armor set and kind of the process of picking your upgrades. Hey guys, so there is a add-on to the Create mod called Ore Excavation, and this is the ore vein finder. It's crafted using a Eye of Ender, a redstone ore, and a amethyst shard. It helps you find chunks that have ores in them. And when you find those chunks, those are completely unlimited. All you have to do is get yourself a mining drill, which is a little bit expensive, but it's not too bad considering you get unlimited resources once you've actually gotten one. So my goal is to get 3 of them. I'm going to place one on each of the 3 chunks that I have found so far. And there's the iron chunk, there's the zinc chunk, and right over here is the gold chunk. So I will have to make platforms, and I'll have to figure out how to get all that set up. I will also need some chunk loaders for this, so this is going to be one massive project. And to get started on that, and since I need chunk loaders, part of getting a chunk loader is getting a ghast trapped in a box. So if I look up chunk loader right here, you can see that there's an empty one and then there's a full one. And the only way to fill them is with a ghast. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get that. And my solution is to make a jetpack, because if I can get a jetpack, I can more than likely get to a ghast from there. So my guess is that this is going to be a little bit of a process getting going, but it looks like I've already got most of the stuff. The steam engine does look interesting, but doesn't seem like it's too difficult to get my hands on. And then after that, I'll have to figure out how to charge it up and everything. But otherwise, it shouldn't be too bad to get. Okay guys, so it looks like I have what I need to make my jetpack. I just need to place this fan here, and then it should pop out as a jetpack. Yep, there we go. Now I have no idea how to charge this. Looks like it needs both fuel and water, so this might be interesting. I don't even know if this is gonna be all that safe for the nether, but we'll figure it out. Well, I figured out how the jetpack works. It's actually kind of simple. Needs water, needs fuel. Well, you just kind of chuck your coal in there, and then you chuck your water in there. I don't know that there's a faster way to do it though, because I tried using deployers and that didn't seem to work. And I tried using dispensers, that didn't seem to work. So I don't know if there's an easier way to do it. Either way, when it works, it really works. Like, holy cow. The only thing is you do take fall damage if you don't catch yourself, so you got to be real careful. But now I have flight, so that's a pretty major upgrade there. So just wanted to give you guys that heads up. It looks like I might have an easier option for a chunk loader. So it looks like just in this mod pack alone there is a 3x3 chunk loader right here, and all you need is an ender pearl, 4 obsidian, and 4 iron, which is significantly easier than capturing a ghast in a block, which also requires a respawn anchor. And for the record, I do not have very much crying obsidian. I have 3 to my name. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I actually already have the ender pearls. I already have everything I need. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a shot. Okay guys, so I've got everything I need to make 3 drilling machines. As you can see, this is the crafting recipe right here. I need 4 blocks of brass. I'm going to need 9 brass sheets, 2 electron tubes, 2 precision mechanisms, a drill, a spout, a copper casing, a brass casing, a brass tunnel, and then 3 of the sturdy sheets. So I've got 3 times that amount right here in my inventory. We're gonna head on over to my mechanical crafter. I'm gonna get all this up on here, show you guys them being made, and I'll cut back here in just a few. Okay guys, so I believe that this is going to take care of that first one right there. Hopefully I didn't mess up the recipe. Yep, looks like that's the first one there. So I'm just gonna do this 2 more times and I'll just show you guys the product. There's number 2, and here is number 3. Okay guys, so I have everything that I need to go ahead and set up these stations at the 3 different chunks. It's going to be in a couple of portions. The first portion is going to be the windmill that I will power each of these with. They're each going to have 40 windmill sails, so it should be enough to power it. Maybe not at the max speed, but it should be enough to power it at least at a rate that will be at least feasible. The next station is going to be the lava station. Because these require lava to perform, I'm going to have essentially a 2x2 dripstone setup at each one, which should be more than enough. Next up, I've got my regular building blocks and kind of my just kind of basic building supplies. I've got my glue for my windmill. I also have my chunk loader. It's a 3x3 and I've got 3 of them, so that should work plenty for the 3 chunks that I'm going to be working in. Of course, I've got my drilling machines and the drill bits, so we should be all set. I hope I'm not forgetting anything because it is a long trek there and it is a long trek back. Okay guys, it turns out this thing is an absolute power-hungry machine. So the only way I'm really going to get this to run at even 19 RPM is if I have these 3 water wheels and even more of the sails. So that's the max speed that I'm going to be able to run this at, and that's luckily with the tank that I'm going to put here. So I'm going to place these 4 tanks here. I'm going to place my pump there and a pump there and then another pipe there. And I'm going to take my 2 cogwheels, set those there and there, grab my shafts, run that there and there, and that should work like that. Okay, so now I just need to get my dripstone in place. I'll need to come back and bring some lava. I guess I forgot to bring some lava. But once I've got that, this is pretty much good to go. I just need to set up a collection system, which I will do here in just a moment. So something I just figured out is that this says that it is not spinning with enough speed. So regardless of me getting this kind of jimmy rigged to try and work, if I go even slightly faster, it's not going to do a thing. I'm probably gonna have to do some steam power with this, or I'm gonna have to go absolutely nuts with water wheels, because I will not get this to spin fast enough or hard enough to actually work, at least not the windmill. So I'm either gonna have to find something else to power this, or I'm going to have to just get a crap ton of water wheels, which luckily I've got enough wood to do that. But that'll be interesting. We'll just say that will be interesting. So I'm gonna head back to the base, come up with a game plan, and kind of go from there. See how feasible it is to do steam power, see how feasible it is to do water wheel power. My guess is I'm gonna have to go with the water wheel route, because I mean I can set up 30 of these things and I'll have more than enough wood to do that. But steam, I don't know that I'm gonna have a good way to fuel the steam power. So yeah, we'll see. Okay guys, so I was able to figure out all here. Luckily I didn't have to go all the way back home just to get this figured out. It turns out 20 water wheels will get the job done. So yeah, I just installed 20 water wheels, hooked it up to my speed controller. I got it up to 38 RPM, I believe. Yeah, 38 RPM, which happened to be just enough to be able to get it rolling, and I've got my first piece of iron. So this is not going to be quick by any means. I might throw the windmill on the end of this just to see if I can maybe get a little bit more speed out of it. The problem is I'm noticing I'm getting a lot of frame dips and a lot of like lag spikes. So I don't know if this is going to be feasible or not, but we'll see. Okay, so I left over to the gold farm and had a little bit of progress there, and I decided I wanted to sleep because I forgot my bed over here, and noticed that the farm was not producing what I would have expected for the amount of time. It turns out you do need to configure these, and all you do is you right click on it and you just pick which chunks you want to load. I'm glad that I figured that out now rather than in the future, because that would have really sucked for me to just not get any iron. So now that that's going, I'm going to continue working on my gold. So progress on the gold one is quick. I was able to get this up in like 5-10 minutes, but essentially it's just following the exact same formula as I did before, but instead of all the cogs I just did a belt. I'll have to go grab another belt when I go to the copper one, but I kind of have to pass by my base to get there anyways, so that works. I need to go ahead and get all the water wheels going. I have no wood in my inventory, so I'm gonna have to go either, well, that looks like that could get me quite a bit of wood. So I'll probably head over there, get some wood, and yeah, get back to it. Okay guys, so when I was building the gold farm, I ran into a little bit of an issue, and that's that right here, it was showing that there was no gold present. So the drill was not working. I had everything all set up properly, other than the fact that the drill was just saying there is no gold available to drill. When I looked at the chunk, I realized I was in the wrong chunk. I needed to be in this one. So the gold farm is working now. It's working just fine. As you can see, it is producing gold at a pretty quick pace. I was struggling to figure out why for the longest time, because my marker right there says that it was this chunk, and it turns out it was the one next to it. So just wanted to let you guys know that you should really double, triple check which chunk you decide to place your farm in, because I made the mistake and I didn't make it again for the copper farm. So just wanted to show you guys that it's easy to mistake that. Okay guys, so I'm not going to do a block for block tutorial, but I am going to go ahead and at least show you how to do this for the most part. Now that I've got a little bit more confidence in my ability to actually do a tutorial. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, of course, find your chunk. This is in fact the chunk. You can see that it says nothing nearby, but there is a copper, raw copper ore vein below my feet, 0 blocks away. So you're just going to want to place down your extractor anywhere here and place down whatever drill bit you guys want to use. And I actually want mine to have the thing there facing the other way, so I am going to place it going this direction. So yeah, we can have this output on this side. So next I'm going to want to go ahead and do 3 shafts, and then I'm going to place my speed controller. Of course I'm going to need to do my cog right on top of that, and I'm going to go ahead and do a whole bunch of my cog wheels. Next up, we're going to go ahead and put our windmill bearing on the end here. Now again, this isn't necessary because it will run without it, but having the windmill bearing there does increase the speed at which you can run the system. So it's worth it in my opinion to just go ahead and do it. Next thing that we're going to go ahead and build is our lava generator. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to place a pipe right on there, and then we're going to leave this one open because we're going to place a pump there. We're going to place our tank. We're going to place another pump here, and then we're going to do 4 more pipes in that kind of square there. We're going to go ahead and place our cauldrons right on top, and what that'll do is the pipes will connect to the cauldrons. We're going to place 1 block on top of the cauldrons, a 4 square above that, and then we're going to place our dripstone underneath that. And those dripstone will start to fill the cauldrons. Now I'm going to need to get myself some pumps, so I'm going to take... Oh, turns out I'm going to need a little bit of wood planks for that. Going to need a couple of cogs. Going to need a couple of our pumps. I made way too many pumps. and we're going to need to change the direction of those, so that way and that way. So to get power, we're going to take that out. We're going to replace that with a cog. We're going to place another cog there. We're going to place another one above and another one up here. We're going to place 2 shafts in between, and that should make it so that all of the pumps are pumping directly into our machine here. So once that's done, we essentially have everything we need to get this machine operational. Now we still need to set up our item collection system, which can be done with either more cogs or, my favorite, a belt. We're going to place 1 shaft underneath there, another one here. We're going to place our belt here and here. We're going to place another couple shafts out here, and that there. Now you'll notice the belt's not spinning the right direction. We'll fix that in a moment, but in the meantime, all we gotta do is place our chest here. Last funnel there, and that's pretty much it. So to fix the issue of the shafts spinning the wrong direction and therefore making our belt spin the wrong direction, just head on over to your speed controller, and we're going to need to adjust the speed anyways, but we're going to flip this over to the reverse direction, and we're going to make it go as fast as we can. 54 works. Okay, so pretty simple, but that should get everything rolling. So this should start producing, yep, and as you can see, we've got some copper. So this system is now running. Our last step is to go ahead and place our chunk loader, and I'm just going to place that right on top of here. And then we're just going to pick the chunks that we're in. It can do any of these chunks here, so we might as well just pick them all. But yeah, that's about it. That's all you need to do. You don't have to use water wheels. You don't have to use a windmill. You can use whatever you decide to use. However, this is what I have found to be the cheapest as in resources, while still producing at a somewhat reasonable pace. Because this is a loaded chunk all the time, it's going to be producing no matter what. Alright guys, so something that I'm going to do as a little side project here is I'm going to make mobile generator stations. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use the diesel generators mod to just have a couple of diesel generators just on mobile minecarts. And I think I'm going to create 3 of these. Alright guys, so quick little tutorial on how to make yourself a portable generator. So first things first, you're going to place a pipe. You're going to take your diesel generator, like this, where the shaft is running horizontally rather than vertically. Next, you're going to take your turbo, throw it right on there. That will give you a little bit more power, which will be great. Next, we're going to take a cog, put it on the back side there, and then we're going to take a mechanical pump and place it on that side there, so that these 2 are connected. You're going to take your tanks. I'm going to do 3. You're going to place them upright like that, and then when you go to crank your engine, this should pull fluid into the engine and it should just start on its own. So what we're going to do is we're just going to place another cog that we're going to place on the side here, and then that should work to get the pump spinning. When the pump is spinning, that will feed fluid into your engine and then it'll kickstart it. So all you need to do to make this work is you're going to need to get your glue and take all of that, glue it all together, and then you're going to take your cart and pick it up. So making those diesel generators, I came up with the idea that maybe it would be a good idea to throw one of those on my iron farm, just to see how quickly it would, or how much it would improve the performance. And it went from essentially 50 RPM to 90, doubling the performance, which is insane. So I decided that I was gonna see if there are any like oil spots nearby, thinking there's probably nothing nearby. No, there's a huge oil vein right here, and it's already in a loaded chunk. It's this chunk right here. So I think in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and set up a pump jack in that chunk right there. I'm going to set that up with my machine here, and it's just going to produce a crap ton of crude oil and gasoline and diesel for me, and anything that the machine doesn't use, I'm going to essentially use as a storage system here. It will be essentially a refill station for my other machines. So I'm going to do that in the next episode. Hope you guys are excited for that. I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be a fantastic episode. And then in the next episode, I'm also going to create a computer system with the Applied Energistics mod. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. So if you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below on what your favorite part of the video was, or what you'd like to see in the next video. I am going to do the Applied Energistics computers, and I am going to do the pump jack to get this place running a little bit more powerful, and maybe at the other 2 locations if I can get the resources to do so. Otherwise, super happy about the support on the last video. Please keep it up. I absolutely am enjoying this and can't wait to keep doing it. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!